What are some of the worst fails in Super Bowl history? Now look, you guys have asked me, generate your own lists. Come on, we want to hear what you really think, not what Fox Sports or ESPN or what have you generate the list for you. So look, man, here it is. At number 5, the Dallas Cowboys, the Roger Staubach Dallas Cowboys against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jackie Smith wide open in the end zone, and it goes right through his hands. Now, I don't know what was the worst part about this, the fact that it went through his hands or the little weird duck dance he did at the end when he realized that he actually dropped the pass. Look, he was a great tight end, But that year he was like the backup tight end. He was a special teamer. Obviously, no one expected him to even go out there and try and catch a pass. He tried to at Super Bowl 13. Vern Lundquist, by the way, called Jackie Smith, said about Jackie Smith, he's got to be the sickest man in America. True, he probably was. In the third quarter, that touchdown would have tied the game. They settled for a field goal fourth quarter. Both teams scored 14 points, thus the 4-point difference. A Hall of Famer who did not come through in a humongous moment, 35-31 win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. At Super Bowl 33, Eugene Robinson had maybe one of the biggest failures of all time. So here's what happened. A day before the Super Bowl in Miami, he goes and tries to pick up a prostitute. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why do you have to pick up a prostitute? You're an NFL player. I'm pretty sure if you want to, you can go get ass at any bar, at any time, at any place. Thus, he did not think so. He tried to pick up a prostitute who was an undercover cop. So the Atlanta Falcons, with Chris Chandler and Jamal Anderson doing the dirty bird, they lost, of course, big. But here's what the players said after the game. Guys have been going there all week. It's just that Eugene was the only one who got caught. You guys were going there all week. Instead of getting mentally ready for the Broncos, we were talking about Eugene. The Broncos beat us, but anyone who says what happened to Eugene was not a factor is lying. This all happened, this all went down, by the way, one day, after he received the High Morale Character Award from an evangelical group, Athletes in Action. Oh, that's a major failure. Number 3. At Super Bowl 37, John Gruden faced off against his former team, the Oakland Raiders, Tampa Bay against Oakland. Barrett Robbins, a fantastic center for the Oakland Raiders that year. I don't want to rip into him too much, but look, he's bipolar, he was partying in Tijuana, failed to show up for team meetings and warm-ups. Oops. So then, because he showed up in a completely different mental state than he had the entire season, apparently, head coach Bill Callahan sent him home. Now, this could even go into 3A, because Bill Callahan, the coach of the Oakland Raiders, pretty much used the same damn playbook as John Gruden. Thus, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their defense knew exactly what the plays were going to be even before they were called, when they were trying to audible at the line of scrimmage or what have you. Tampa Bay knew. And John Gruden went on to win the Super Bowl that year over his former team, the Oakland Raiders. Tampa Bay winners on that day. The New England Patriots had yet another chance in another Super Bowl to try and beat Eli Manning and the New York Giants. Now, in the fourth quarter, Wes Welker, the former Texas Tech product, former Miami Dolphin, fantastic player for the New England Patriots that year, a 20-plus yard pass that could have easily set up a New England Patriots Super Bowl win. He drops it. Unfortunate for Wes Welker, I felt terrible for him. One person who did not feel terrible for him was Tom Brady's wifey figure, and that is Gisele Bündchen. What did she say after the game? She was caught via cameras saying, "My husband cannot throw the ball and pass the ball and catch the ball at the same time," as she was getting in the elevator. Huge diss on Wes Welker. I felt terrible for him. Many other people did. In the regular season, 122 catches. Amazing. 1,569 yards, 9 touchdowns. That possession started on their own 8-yard line with 4 minutes left. The Patriots led the game 17-15. That play was on 2nd and 11 from the New York 44-yard line. Just went right through his hands. And then remember, with 104 left, Ahmad Bradshaw with Eli Manning. Mario Manningham, by the way, totally should not be exempt from this conversation, had a fantastic catch down the sideline. And then Ahmad Bradshaw did the sort of butt touchdown because he wasn't sure if he should score. Anyway, the Giants go on to win that one. What could possibly be number 1? Well, Ball So Hard University, Terrell Suggs, had a very harsh and interesting take on this in a 28-6 game. In last year's Super Bowl, what happened? The lights went out. Ball So Hard University was quoted as saying after the game, "I was like, Vegas, parlor tricks, you know what I mean? I was like, Roger Goodell. He never stops. He always has something up his sleeve. He just couldn't let us have this one in a landslide, huh? I thought he had a hand in it. Most definitely, he had a hand in it. A 34-minute delay. Baltimore led 28-6, and they said Beyonce's show ran 3 minutes long. It was 2 minutes into the second half. S&E President Michael Edmonds. If higher settings had been applied, the equipment would not have disconnected the power. Now, granted, Baltimore did go on to win over the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers totally turned the momentum around. And, of course, the Super Bowl came down to one play where pass interference probably should have been called. The Ravens escaped, but either way, the lights-out Super Bowl in New Orleans will always be somewhat controversial, though the Ravens did come out on top. So which ones do you guys think I left off that are noteworthy? And I'm leaving off a few. At least to name a few, the ones that I'm leaving off. Leon Lett, because we mentioned it in prior clips. Scott Norwood's wide right miss. Ellis Hobbs' poor defense on Plaxico Burress. John Casey kicking the ball out of bounds, in which Tom Brady took advantage of, and Adam Vinatieri won the Super Bowl. And Christina Aguilera's... Look, I'm giving Christina Aguilera a pass. She flubbed like one line in the national anthem. We shouldn't be so hard on her. That's all I'm saying. So, which ones did I leave off that you think are noteworthy? Thoughts? Comments section below. And also do me a favor, subscribe to TYT Sports. Clicking right up there. It is 1,000% free. Have a fantastic Super Bowl. All right. Done.
Cool.